So I'm here to talk about IXL. If you have not heard of it before, or you have and your campus has access to it, you've just been skeptical to start it, I highly, highly encourage it. It is absolutely phenomenal. It just overall covers every single subject from pre-kinder all the way to 12th grade. So you can go elementary, middle school, and high school. And I believe that's really important because us as educators, we know that not one size fits all. And we have that ability to differentiate instruction daily for every single one of our students. Um, so it is really important that our low students are being targeted in the abilities that they can perform and being challenged, as well as our first or my first graders who are a little bit ahead. They have the ability to complete the assignment that I had them work on, and then once they're done with that, they can click around and browse second grade material, maybe even third grade material. It just depends where they stand academically. We see here the comprehensive unit covers math, language arts, science, social studies, and Spanish. As far as my classroom is concerned, we focus heavily on math here because we use MyLexia for language arts and phonemic awareness. But as I've been browsing through it a little bit more, I really think that there is no other application that you really require other than IXL, because I believe that the language arts section here is just as good, if not maybe better, than MyLexia is. Um, it's really easy to access. You can get it on your computer, on your phone, on your tablets. And they have the remember password feature, which I absolutely love since I'm an educator. I have thousands of passwords. Um, but why MyLexia? So we see here that 1 in every 8 students in the US already has access to IXL. So if you are 7 of those 8, then you should probably look into it because there is a lot of students who have benefited from it. Um, if you click here, why we love IXL, it is personal testimonies, testimonies from educators, from administrators, from students themselves, and you see how engaged they are with the webpage themselves. I went ahead and clicked on inspiration here, and we are able to see all of these services that they offer us, and we have help as to how we get started, how to maximize it, and the results. So after clicking around a little bit, I found this web page here, and we see how schools that have implemented the use of IXL perform highly on the CASP test versus schools who have not yet implemented it. And that is in both subject areas, math and English language arts. So the more we see the use of IXL, the higher test results they have. And you can feel free to log into IXL and look through all of these tabs here. So you can go ahead and get started and feel comfortable doing so. Um, Here, let me show you this. This is where the students would click. This is almost exactly what their web page would look like when a student logs in. And I would have them click on the math, and we are first graders. So all of these green little stepping stools or steps would mean how much my students have worked on those problems. Right now we are working on fact families, and what I see them really struggling is subtraction word problems. They are really struggling in those areas, and I know that because IXL gives me a report as to where my students are struggling, and I'll show you how to work that a little bit later. So based on what we are working on that week, I will assign a subcategory. So I would say, okay, we are working on a point, then I'll put a period, a period, or a dot one. So everybody would open up their Chromebooks, log in, they would click on it here, and then they would go ahead and get started. So another thing that I found so beneficial, especially if you come from a school or you work at a school where it is a low performing school, is that they have the speaker here. So you would click on it and it would read the question to you out loud. They all have headphones, so we're not getting interrupted by other students working, and it would read it. How many pumpkins are there? And you can click the right answer. So if you see one, you'd click and it would say that's right. If for some reason you were to get it wrong, it would say, sorry, the answer is incorrect, and then it would actually help you solve it and then give you the correct answer. The only con that I just became familiar with not too long ago was that it did not, I knew it helped you solve the problem, but it does not have the speech here, and that becomes especially important when you're talking about word problems. But it helps you count it here, then you would press got it, and that question is bound to reappear again, so that way they know that you've mastered that skill there. Once you get a SMART score out of 100 here, it will give you a gold medal, and those awards I receive an email on it, or I'm able to pull it up on IXL and print out certificates for them, so that way they can show it off to their friends, show it off to their peers. When they receive a certificate or an award, they are also able to clip up on their clip chart, or I'll award them with Class Dojo points, which if you don't have Class Dojo, that is also a phenomenal app. So they would continue on until they get the score out of 100, and that shows mastery of it. It does not mean 100 questions. As you see, I only got one question right, and I've already been up to 9 points. Here, let me show you this. Where is it? These are the awards that I was talking about here. So it'll give you the entire class if you want to print them out, put them around your classroom. Hey, this is what our classroom has achieved so far. That is super duper awesome. They love to show their work around our classroom, so that's always an incentive. But they are most proud of their own work. So here we see their achievements. So I'll randomly go and start printing out certificates, and we see here that they get a certificate for every skill they've mastered, for how many questions they've answered, how many hours they've practiced. So it really appreciates the efforts of every single student. And their certificate would look something like this. And you can print it out, give it to them, say, hey, I have some certificates to pass out, and they absolutely just enjoy that. Language arts here is just, we don't practice language arts here only because we have the app MyLexia, but I was looking through it as well, and I believe that if you just have IXL, you don't really need another program because it is just as effective. And you see here short A, short E, long vowels, and once again it reads the questions to you, so you would click on it.
Which word matches the picture? Lift. Lift. Lift.
Oh, so it actually just tells you the answer. It doesn't give you the
Lift.
it doesn't give you the option, so it wouldn't highlight it. Usually it does. It would highlight life, and then it would highlight lift, and then you would click the right one. But once again, you just click it, make sure you get it right, and there you go. You have your SMART scores going up, questions answered, and your time. Here, analytics. This is also this is probably the most important part for us as educators, is that we are able to see where the students are struggling, how many hours they've spent working on at home, at school, at home, their skills mastered, where they're proficient, um, and you can see the trouble spots, and it'll give you a breakdown of who is missing specifically what questions, who is not getting it. So here I have my students who are struggling with the subtraction word problems, and it'll also give me a breakdown of who's been working on those math problems. So I didn't have everybody try this challenge here because I knew it was a little bit difficult for them. So I made it a challenge thing, and these were the students who were brave enough to try it. And as we see, they are struggling with those. So, me knowing that everybody else decided not to try it because they knew that they would not be great at it, I had these five who are those that accept challenges and they take them on and they're still doing really low, so they're struggling. So I might want to take that and create a lesson from it. It gives me student details, their skills, their progress. So this here, student details, it tells me how long they've been working, what questions they've been working on, and as we can see, we haven't practiced this week because we're so busy with report cards, but it has everything that we need here. Student progress is also so great because they love to see green and arrows pointing towards progress. It is just so phenomenal. If you do not have it yet, I highly recommend it. The kids love it. They are definitely bummed out when we don't have Chromebooks that day, um, but they find it so fun and they're able to get a little preview of it here. And if a student logs on, they'll be able to see gold, gold skills there or little medals. So it just has everything the whole year, what we're going to teach the whole year. And I love not making copies. I love saving paper. I try to tell my kids that we need to save paper as well, so they're all about this. Um, yeah, but I mean, if you have any questions, you can try it out for free for 30 days. You just log in to ixl.com and it is there for you. I highly recommend it. See you guys later.